You ready?
I'm ready.
Well, we got back to the U.S. about this time 1 week ago, right?
1 week ago, yeah.
And we probably won't post this till after I finish posting all the other videos from the trip, right? Oh, and show.
I'm not in charge of that.
Okay, true.
Whatever
Show them
you
our
want to do.
flowers too. This is what we came home to when we drove to Reno on Tuesday of last week. Pretty. Let's see, what else do we? So, this was almost 10 weeks.
No.
Almost 9 weeks.
It was 9 weeks and maybe 2 days or
Right.
something. It was going to be the longest trip ever, but it got cut short by 2 days. So it tied the longest, but it didn't exceed it.
Because the airline canceled the flight we were coming back on, and we had to, it's a very long story, but we had to change it and come back 2 days early, right?
Yeah, terrible airline.
Yeah.
Level.
Yes.
Level's the name.
They messed around with us big time. So should we divide? We'll talk about, let's see, we went to the Canaries, and then we went to Morocco, then Spain, Greece, North Macedonia, Kosovo, back to North Macedonia, then Bulgaria and Romania. Have I got that right?
Yep.
Okay, so we'll just talk about each country, okay?
Yep.
Sounds good. So we'll start out with the Canaries, and the great thing, I mean, we kind of planned that to allow us to get over our jet lag,
Right.
right?
Right.
And it
We went
worked
to
beautifully for
three
that.
islands. First, they were all interesting, different.
Yes. Fuerteventura was very arid.
Right.
Interesting, though, as you said.
But I liked El Hierro, the one we hadn't.
Yes.
Well, we hadn't been to those first two, but there's no big resorts on it. It's kind of quiet, but good, nice hiking and.
Oh, and a beautiful
Just
location.
beautiful.
And it
Yeah.
was a new Parador for us, and the Parador is right on the water. Our room just looked out on the water.
Right.
It was wonderful. Very, very wonderful. And they're almost energy independent by just using solar and gravity power. You'll have to look at the video to see, but it was great. So very interesting. And then we went from there to El Hierro. And then our last island was Gran Canaria, right?
Yeah, we were there 2 nights.
Because we were flying out of there? Right.
Yeah, flew out of there.
And that we stayed in a beautiful spot.
Beautiful hotel there.
Yep, just gorgeous.
Yeah.
So I love the Canaries. I think I'd go there again, don't you think? Or you
Yeah.
think we've been there? And
I think we probably would not go back there, but it's a nice place to go.
Absolutely.
I would recommend it to anyone.
Yep. And then we flew from Gran Canaria to Marrakesh, and our traveling compadres, Brian and Joanne, had flown in the day before, and we met them. We met them at their hotel, picked them up at their hotel after we flew in.
Right.
So stayed at the same place in Marrakesh we'd stayed before, which we really liked. That was
Right
the
down in the
Riyadh
old-
Carmela Princess. Yep, Marrakesh is really great.
Yep.
It's a fascinating place. Picked up a rental car and drove to Demnat. So we went to Demnat, Bine Ouidain.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not pronouncing any of these right, but
Well, I think
Rabat,
I think
Tangier,
the pronunciation's
Ceuta.
really-
Well, Ceuta's in Spain, which on Africa though. Chefchaouen, Al Hoceima, and Melilla, which is also in Africa. Of all those places, what were some of your highlights?
Tangier was a very nice room. I mean, for a remarkably low price.
Yep.
I mean, it was a modern, but it was just huge.
We hiked
I mean,
down to a waterfall, which was kind of fun. Chefchaouen is this beautiful blue town up in the mountains.
Right.
And then we visited 2 Spanish enclaves on the coast, northern coast of Africa, both of which had paradors, which were new to us. And going there was just interesting because you were very much in Spain, not in Morocco anymore. It just felt totally different. Don't you think?
Well, you're not in Spain either.
Yeah.
It's kind of a mix because there's a lot of Moroccans. 50% of the population, I think, in Melilla was Moroccan. I mean,
Yeah. But it was very interesting.
It was very nice. Very nice.
So that was kind of fun. And then we took a ferry from the second enclave, Melilla, over to Almeria, Spain, and drove from Almeria to Barcelona.
Yeah.
So what?
Not one day though.
No, no,
We
no.
didn't get on
we
in
did
there
several days.
and
We
did-
went to Almeria,
took us 6 days or something, yeah.
Albacete, Valencia, Tortosa, and then to Barcelona where we flew out.
Right.
So highlights of that part?
Well, I like Valencia.
I
mean,
love Valencia, yes.
Yeah, it's maybe because it's like one of the last places that we've discovered in Spain. We'd been to Spain many times and either just gone through it or not, we never had stopped there till 2 years ago or
Yes,
something.
this was only our second time.
Yeah.
And it was just as much fun this time.
This time we stayed 2 nights,
Yep.
and it's just a nice town.
It is. It's very fun
Yeah.
to walk around in.
Yep.
I really enjoyed Tortosa too.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just an interesting, smaller town.
Yep.
I think one of my highlights in that part of Spain was on the last day we drove from Tortosa to Barcelona.
Yeah.
I get this right. And we did a hike about an hour out of Valencia up to a hermitage and down around this mountain. And it was just a beautiful
Oh, that was
day.
fun, especially that part where we're going almost straight up.
Yep.
And you kept looking at the map trying to figure, are we on a road or trail or that
Yeah, it was fun.
That was fun.
And then the place we stayed,
a lot of fun.
stayed probably just a mile or two at most from, yes?
Nothing.
From,
Didn't say anything.
from Barcelona Airport.
Yeah, we stayed.
It
We
was a
didn't go into
beautiful
Barcelona.
place. It was great. And you said it was reasonably priced?
Yeah, it was
Compared,
compared to Barcelona at that period of time.
yeah, because there was a big conference going on in
Yeah.
Barcelona. So, yeah. Anything else you want to say about Spain?
No.
Okay. And then very early the next morning, we got up and flew from Barcelona to Thessaloniki, Greece, which is on the northeast
It was about
side
a 3-hour
of
3-hour flight or
Yep.
something.
And we'd been to Thessaloniki before and really enjoyed it. And it was still fun to walk around and explore. Duke didn't have a suitcase the whole time we were there because the airline lost it.
Well, they just didn't get it put on the plane.
Right. 2 days
Then
later.
they put it on a plane to Istanbul.
Right.
After one day it was in Istanbul, it took another day. So it was 2 days
Yeah.
later.
Apple AirTags are great because you can find out where your bag
Yeah.
is when it's not with you. So that was
Yeah.
kind of fun. So we went out to the airport, picked up his bag, picked up a rental car, and drove to. So in Greece, the plan was to kind of drive across northern Greece and then back a little
Yeah,
bit
a
farther
little-
south across northern Greece. And I wouldn't mind going back. I think we could do a
Oh,
lot of hiking and stuff in northern
Well, that's
Greece.
another area that we hadn't been to Greece till. We've only been there once. That was a
Together,
year ago
yes,
or something.
yes.
Yeah, and we wanted. That was mostly southern, but a little bit northern because we'd come in from the north.
Right.
But this time we specifically wanted to go back to northern Greece. And it was really nice. Very
And I think there's a
worthwhile.
lot of places we could hike there if we went back. And it was just,
Yeah, it's very nice.
So we had a real rainy. The first place out of Thessaloniki was Naousa, and it was very rainy. But it was fun to walk around even in the rain. And we stayed at a really nice hotel there. Had a beautiful room.
Yeah, yeah. That
And
was
then
a nice place.
and then we went to Aristi, which is probably my favorite hotel. Certainly in Greece, maybe my favorite hotel of the trip. The place is called something like Artists' Homes, if you translate it into English. So we had our own little stone home with a fireplace and a kitchen, and it was just idyllic. And then woke up to sun the next morning and beautiful views. And that's a place I think you can do a lot of hiking. You can. There's river rafting there. The next morning we drove up to the gorge, and I know they do a lot of river rafting. And it's just
Beautiful area.
stunning, beautiful area. And then from Aristi we went to Corfu, which we took a ferry across from. We actually had to pay a little bit extra on the rental car to take the ferry across from the mainland over to Corfu. Was it a 20-minute ride, maybe? Half an hour ride? I don't remember.
Yeah,
It wasn't very long.
It was very long.
And Corfu was interesting. I think it was a bit of a disappointment,
It
though.
was a disappointment.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I mean, we were there in the off season, so it's a very touristy island.
But it gets a lot of
But-
cruise ships, I think.
Yeah, and in the off season, everything shuts down and there doesn't leave. There's nothing there
Yep.
really.
Yep.
I mean, we had a couple good meals, but overall, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe when things are open
Right.
and things are happening, it'd be a little different. But
Then the castle was interesting. We walked around it the next morning before we left. Then we
Yeah.
took the ferry back
well, that's true.
and went down the coast to Preveza, which was, it was fun. It was not at all touristy. They had a nice little street to walk down with no traffic, with some nice restaurants, and it was an interesting place. We stayed. We had to drive in to for restaurants. Drive about a mile back into town to go to restaurants,
Right.
and it's always nicer to be able to walk. But other
Right.
than that, next up, we went to Rodavgi, Trikala, and Katarini. And one of those was it Trikala's where we went to. Where we went to
Yeah, you're right.
the monasteries. I mean, they're often on the covers of guidebooks.
Wait,
Meteora is where all
I'm
the
not sure.
Meteora is where all the momonasteries are on top of these mountains.
that was
just
this one.
exact. Oh, that's Katarini.
Yeah.
So we didn't stay in Meteora. We stayed 5 miles down the road in a really, really, really nice resort. Is it a resort? No, I wouldn't call it a resort. Up on top of a hill overlooking the town. You think it's Trikala?
No. What are you saying? What?
We stayed in a
Sorry, I nodded off.
They had an indoor
I didn't
pool.
take my meds.
An indoor,
Sorry.
Yeah, right. They had an indoor pool with a sauna and a steam room and a hot room. They had a really nice restaurant, beautiful view, and we had a very nice room with glass windows all around it. And it was only a short drive to Meteori, where we hiked all around to the monasteries on the hills. That's another place you could go back and do a lot of hiking.
Anante City Resort was the one near the monasteries, right?
Yep.
And then
Dermatis.
Dematis was the we stayed there 2 nights. Small town, nice couple, younger couple. They were like in the mid
yes.
60s or something. She was Belgium.
Oh, yes.
And he was Greek.
Oh, I love that place.
And,
And that's where Mount Olympus is. We hiked on Mount Olympus.
yeah, we did, didn't we?
That was very cool. It's
Yeah.
where they recommended we start is in an army training base. And so at the beginning of the hike, we had to sign in and talk to these, 20-year-old soldiers, and they,
Yeah.
it was fun.
Told us which direction to go. Yeah.
Yes, that was great.
Yep.
And it was a nice place to stay. Very nice.
Yeah.
They had good food. And
Yeah.
we had a great room. That was, thank
It
you
was
for
a small town.
Thank you for remembering that.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we went back to Thessaloniki, stayed in a different hotel, which is also on the main square, which is also very nice.
Very nice. Yeah.
Walked around some more. I just like Thessaloniki. And then we took a bus from Thessaloniki into, obviously we turned in the rental car as soon as we got back to Thessaloniki. And we took a bus from Thessaloniki over the border into North Macedonia.
Mm-hmm.
And we were in North Macedonia. We stayed in one town that's a winery out
The
just
hotel's
outside
a
of a town.
winery. The town is just a town.
The hotel's a winery, yes.
Yeah, it's a hotel winery.
Which was fun. We talked to the owner. He's
Right.
not too far from the main freeway that runs all the way across Europe there.
North-south.
Yeah, north-south. So a lot of times in the summer when people are driving to Greece with the kids for a week or whatever, people stop at his place and they're booked solid. There probably might have been one other room occupied while we were there.
The first night.
Yeah.
And then the second night, I think we were the only ones there.
It's a big hotel, but anyway, we had a nice talk with the owner, and the people were all friendly and nice, and we walked all around. It was very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then we took the train from there to Skopje, which is the capital of North Macedonia, which we'd also never been to before,
Right.
and spent 2 nights there. Enjoyed that, right?
Yes. That was the boat, wasn't it?
Yes, we stayed on a hotel that was built to look like a boat in the middle on
Right,
the
it was
river.
on the river.
And it was very nice
Right in the
and
center of town.
very nice people, and we had a couple of good meals there, and
Yeah.
Yep.
It was a nice area.
and
nice
bought
town.
bus tickets to take us then into Kosovo, the country of Kosovo, which is recognized as a country by
105 countries recognize it, which
But
means
not quite
about
all.
half of the countries in
Right.
the world. The other half don't.
right.
Uh,
Obviously, it was part of Yugoslavia at one point. It was a fascinating country because the first town we stayed in, which was Prizren,
Right.
had we had a very nice hotel, fairly new because it was in a part of town that, and all the troubles there that whole neighborhood had burned down. Prizren was the beautiful little town on the river.
Yes.
Where we stayed across from the church.
Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful place. Highly recommend visiting there if
That
you're
was
ever
very
in that
nice,
part of the
yeah.
country. And then we took a bus from there to Pristina, which I think is the capital of Kosovo. And they have a giant statue of Bill Clinton. They have a statue of Madeleine Albright. They have George Bush Boulevard, which was all really fun to see. And
Well,
we walked around.
The side street where we were staying was Robert Dole Street.
Yeah, so because
we
those people
militarily intervened on their behalf
and kind of saved them.
And saved them, yes.
And that is very
And
well
they haven't
remembered.
forgotten, and that's 30-some years ago, right?
Yeah.
34.
So that was cool. And then we couldn't go, there's no direct transportation from there into Bulgaria. So we took a bus back to Skopje and spent one night there, and then went into Bulgaria.
By bus.
By bus.
Yeah.
To a town just over the border.
And they were having their spring festival.
Just coincidentally, they were having the spring festival, which is so much fun to be someplace where something like that is going on. And then we took a bus. No, then we took a taxi, didn't we? Sofia?
No, we took a bus.
Oh, bus. So that's right.
Yeah.
Into Sofia, the capital of Bulgaria, which is a beautiful, beautiful town. We actually both were a bit sick. We didn't go out to eat there. I'd like to go back to Sofia, I think, just because we really didn't get to do. We walked around,
and it was bad, but just kind of sore throat.
Didn't feel like going out to dinner, so we ate in the room both nights, and because it's a very pretty place, I wouldn't mind. I would like to go there again.
And we went to the coast town.
Oh, that's right. We went down to Varna. We stayed at a couple little towns,
Oh,
Rila,
yeah,
Plovdiv,
we went, a couple towns.
Veliko Turnova, and then Varna on the coast, on the Black Sea coast, in a rental car, yes. And that was very interesting. We really aren't that far from Ukraine at that point. It's just
not
200, 300. I mean, it was 600 miles or something to one of the main cities in Ukraine. So anyway, and then from Varna we went to Rus, Bulgaria, which is our hotel was on the Danube. Fun place to walk around.
Other side of the river is Romania.
Right. Nice little hotel.
Yeah, very nice.
And then we turned out to we had a long talk with the owner because the taxi we had hired to take us into Romania didn't show up. And they were so helpful. They eventually booked us a new taxi to take us. But we had a long talk with the owner while we waited. He had actually been to Reno before. So that was fun. Nice, beautiful place.
Yep.
Had a nice meal there. It was great.
But we left about 2 hours after our plane time, and we were going to pick up a car.
A rental car in...
that was disaster number 2 for that one day.
That's right. In Romania, we had problems with it.
Yeah. Didn't start off very well, and it just left a bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah.
About,
I think my favorite place to stay in Romania was the yoga retreat. It was just a nice little place.
But back to the rental car.
Yeah.
It turned out to be a scam.
Yes.
And so we walked out.
Yeah, and got an Uber to the airport to get a new one.
And rented a car there. Yeah.
Yeah. And I still want to make kind of a rant, maybe a YouTube short ranting about that rental car company. You should never use it. But the yoga
That'll show 'em.
Yeah, that'll really scare them. As we were leaving, I said, "Here's my card. You can watch about all this on my YouTube channels." Like it's going to bother them.
They started to shake and tremble then.
They said, "Oh, be nice to us." And I thought, yeah, right. Anyway, what was your favorite? Like I said, this yoga retreat we stayed at was lovely. We could see the Transylvanian Alps. It was just gorgeous. Very nice place, good food, nice people. I did 2 yoga classes, which were great. But what other things did you like in Romania?
Well, the first couple of days, it was very almost foggy or misty. I don't know.
Hard to see the mountains.
You couldn't see the mountains. And then after that, we kind of came back on the same route. Then it was a beautiful area all of a
Yes.
sudden because you're right along going parallel to the mountain
Right.
range. And
Yeah, the mountains are beautiful there. There's
Yeah.
no doubt about it. And it was interesting how different. I thought maybe Bulgaria and Romania would be kind of similar, but they're not. I mean, Romania uses the Roman alphabet. Bulgaria uses the Cyrillic alphabet. They just felt, I mean, everything about it felt very
yeah,
different.
Very different.
Yeah, it was very interesting. Yeah, so anything else before we, so from there, we went back to Bucharest. Bucharest was a very interesting place. We visited the house. They give tours of the mansion that the former communist Romanian president lived in, and that was very interesting. In the park there, they have a big park where they've moved in old traditional folk houses from all over Romania, and that was a beautiful place to walk through and very interesting. And then
Very
there
good.
just happened to be some filming going on of all these people in traditional dress, beautiful traditional dress, singing and dancing, and that was fun to watch. So Bucharest turned out to be really cool.
Yeah.
And then we flew from Bucharest back to Barcelona, spent one night, ate at a restaurant that we've eaten at before that we loved. It was just fun to be back in Barcelona. And flew home the next day. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, did we sit in the seats that we'd paid for?
Oh, that's the other thing
No.
that went very
No,
wrong.
we didn't.
Not only did
And we haven't
Level
got a refund.
on the way, then not only did they tell us we had to come back 2 days early because they'd canceled the
They changed
flight.
the flight.
Then we had premium economy booked, and they paid for. They downgraded us to tourist class and put us in seats, 2 seats, with no window.
On the outside of the plane,
Yes.
but no window, just the wall.
And on the other
And
side
on the other side
was
the
the
bathroom
bathroom.
door.
And the flight attendants were wonderful.
Yes, they were.
They kind of, I didn't have such a bad feeling about Level anymore after dealing. The flight attendants were so sweet. But anyway.
But they haven't given us our.
They're supposed to, the European Union rules say you're supposed to get a 75%
Right.
refund of your fare.
And they've already come up with excuses, this, that.
Yeah, I think you will get it because you persevere.
I'm not done.
You're not done.
I'm not done.
But that was.
I've only just begun.
Yeah. So we flew back. We got to San Francisco, spent the night, and drove home to Reno.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. It was a good trip. It was fun.
It was a great trip.
Yeah, overall, because there were just so few.
And we really didn't
And the
have
weather. The weather was almost always
Yes.
good. I
We
mean,
intentionally, or Duke intentionally, booked it in the southern part of Europe because we were starting February 1st. And we didn't. And we were in Morocco and the
Morocco,
Canaries.
yeah,
But even when it got a little bit later, there was some pretty cool weather. We could have had snow if.
But
they're
didn't.
still having snow in Reno, so
Right,
you know.
we didn't have any snow.
We really lucked out with the
yeah,
weather.
and
It was
hardly
great.
any rain.
Yep.
A couple days.
Yep.
That's it. Yep.
So-
Okay. That was.
Do you think we should make another trip?
Well, yes, I'm all for that, but I don't know about you. You've kind of vacillated a little bit.
There was one rainy day in
Hey.
Romania.
Maybe we should talk about our next trip. Well, next trip, I'm not going on next trip.
He exaggerates. And by the next day, I was already talking about it and saying, you shouldn't have listened. Just ignore what I said yesterday, because it was fun.
Yeah, we should get one more trip in this year.
Yep. So where the plan is to go to the northern countries in Europe, leave earlier, go across Norway, Finland, Sweden, and then Poland,
Norway,
and
Sweden, Finland,
the
and then,
the Baltic countries there, northern
Latvia, Lithuania,
yeah.
Estonia,
Poland,
Poland,
Germany, the Netherlands.
Netherlands.
Yeah. So that'll be, like I say, late August. So,
Right.
yeah. Anything
All right.
else you want to say?
No, that's good.
This is wonderful. Thanks.
Okay,
Bye.